שלום לכם. תמיד אנחנו משתדלים להביא לכם כאן בתוכנית בכיוון אחר מרואיינים מיוחדים. אבל נראה שהמרואיין שנפגוש היום נדיר במיוחד. הוא נולד כמוסלמי כווייתי בשם מומתז חלאווה, גדל בירדן למשפחה עמידה וספג לא מעט תעמולה אנטי-יהודית. בהמשך שינה את שמו למרק חלאווה ולמד פסיכולוגיה ומחשבים באוניברסיטה בקנדה. אבל אחרי שגילה שם, כביכול במקרה, שהוא כלל לא מוסלמי בגלל שסבתו יהודייה שנולדה בכלל בירושלים, חייו עברו טלטלה. הוא החל להפנים שלמעשה הוא יהודי על פי ההלכה, התחזק בהדרגה, החליט לעשות עלייה לארץ, והיום הוא לומד בישיבת אש התורה בירושלים, הוא משמש גם כמתאם עסקי בין מדינת ישראל לארצות ערב. אז איך בעצם הוא גילה את שורשיו היהודיים, איך הגיבו בני משפחתו, ואיך עבר עליו הביקור הראשון בכותל המערבי. תכף נדע הכל. שלום למרדכי חלאווה.
שלום, שלום.
טוב, את הרעיון אנחנו נערוך היום גם בעברית, אני אשאל בעברית, אתה תענה באנגלית, הבנתי שככה זה יותר נוח לך.
בבקשה, כי העברית שלי לא 100%, אבל אני מבין מה אתה אומר.
אתה מבין לגמרי. יפה, אתה דווקא נשמע טוב. טוב, אתה בעצם נולדת בכווית, אחרי זה עברתם לירדן, משפחה עמידה, לא היה חסר לכם שום דבר. בוא תספר לי קצת על החיים אז.
נולדתי בכווית וגדלתי שם ל3-10 שנים, ובפור המלחמה עם עיראק, הלכנו לספיין, לספרדית, to vacation. יש לי דוד שמה, ויום אחד אמא, she wakes me up in the morning, קום, Iraq or Kuwait, just become Iraq. Like, Ima, come on, you have to tell me stories so I could wake up early in the morning, so I don't believe her. We understood that I could never go to Kuwait. It was sad because I loved Kuwait. It was a great place. I learned everything in Kuwait, all my friends in Kuwait. My world is Kuwait. It's a small country, yes, but it's a very nice country to live in. And we had to move to Jordan.
למה דווקא ירדן?
Yarden, for many reasons, but the most important reason is after the war, my dad lost some of, how could I say, my dad had a company, a construction company in Kuwait. So he has dealings with the court. He has documentation to prove what you own that was lost through the Malkhama. So he needed to be somewhere close. And everybody was talking in the United Nations everywhere else saying that they're going to have, the United Nations is going to have a certain body called United Nations Compensation Committee. So if you lost money or if you lost your house or if you lost your business or anything, you'll file documentations. And the headquarters is במאן ירדן.
הבנתי. אתה יודע, אתה גדלת בכווית ואחרי זה בירדן כאמור. אם היית נולד למשל באיראן או בסוריה, אני לא הייתי שואל אותך מה היו הדעות שלך כלפי היהדות, כי זה די מובן מאליו, אבל ירדן וכווית הן מדינות די מתונות, לא?
Sure, yes. Kuwait is a good country, people are religious, and there were other Jews over there besides us. There was an instant who was married to a Palestinian guy. She's Jewish, she was more Jewish than, I would say, my mom, because she spoke Hebrew and she grew up really in Israel. So, as long as you don't reveal your story to others, you wouldn't have a problem. One more thing I would like to mention, in some of the rich countries in Arabia, like Kuwait or Dubai or Bahrain or Abu Dhabi or Qatar, the more Arabs and Muslims have money, the more happy they are. And they don't pick so much on you. So a few people used to know that my mom is Jewish, or originally her mom is Jewish, so but nobody really would care.
מה, אז כאילו בכלל לא דיברו על... קודם אמרת שלא דיברו כל כך על יהודים, נכון?
They have one channel TV back in the day. So on TV they would say, Zionist bullet goes into the goof of Palestinian kid. That's it. They don't tell you the Palestinian kid went to a suicide bomb to do any of this. They don't tell you. In class, we have teachers tell us, if one rocket kill 5 Yehudim, كم يهوديم 10 rockets kill. This is how they talk sometimes. אם יש בעיה בחדשות, לילה before, they come to you with agenda. Especially הפלסטינים, יש הרבה פלסטינים וסורים teachers.
זאת אומרת, הם הכי הרבה עודדו את השנאה הזאת ליהדות, לציונות?
They all the time, yeah. You know, it's, yeah. I could tell you on and on. I could sit down all day long.
מה, שיעורי מתמטיקה, זה גם נכנס לדברים האלה?
Yeah. My family used to go to a country club in a country club, the PLO, Arafat, he founded PLO Kuwait. שמעת בזה?
כן.
So Kuwait is where they do fundraising. They do events and people come and pay and whatever. So sometimes they have it in a country club שלנו. We'll go and I see people have Palestinian flag, ומשהו, Israeli flag on the floor, stepping on it. People saying, I want to grow up and go and kill, I want to go fight. This is the environment. But outside of this, who cares? You go to Hardee's, McDonald's, you go to the beach, and you know.
החיים הטובים.
חיים טובים. Kuwait, beautiful, like Las Vegas.
Okay.
There's a lot of good stuff in Kuwait.
אז אתה בעצם, אתה חי את החיים הטובים האלה, סופג קצת תעמולה אנטישמית.
My dad was not the king, really, but he was smart and successful. So we were busy. Either you are busy, or you're not busy. You're not busy, sit down like all Arabs. But you're busy, you're busy.
הבנתי. טוב, אז היית עסוק, וגם סבתא שלך הייתה קצת עסוקה, אתה ראית אותה מדי פעם, קוראת בספר מוזר ובוכה, וגם ידעת שהיא יהודייה.
Sure.
דיברתם על זה, או שזה היה מין סוד משפחתי?
היא יהודייה מזה רבקה, האישה, אמרת,
כן, שגם היא התחתנה עם
מוסלמי. They were friends, and my mama's friend also. She's our neighbor, not my grandma's neighbor. We always used to go together. So we talk about things. I hear. When sometimes I learn, for example, I sit down with that boy Ahmed, who begil ochot shali. They're his two sisters, and his mom will be telling us stories. Sipur shal Yosef. I heard it for the first time from Rivka. So when I go to Muslim class and they tell me, for example, the queen pull his shirt, you know, I argue and I talk just because of that story. My mom, for example, or my grandma would say, okay, Rivka is teaching her kids. So, you know, get them away, to keep the kids away.
ואתה התעניינת באמת בסיפורים האלה, בסיפורי התנ"ך?
I love stories. The best thing in religion, אבא שלי לא דתי, אבא שלי לא אוהב Islam, ולא Christian, ולא יהודות, or Yiddishkeit. Doesn't like any of these. אבל stories itself is something I always loved, and my dad, you know, kind of gets me books for stories. I like stories. של נביאים ומשהו.
אוקיי, אז בעצם סבתא שלך, בוא תספר לי שוב, זה היה מין סוד במשפחה, או שידעתם את זה? איך נודע לך בדיוק שהיא יהודייה?
Well, the book first of all, plus that she's born in Israel, and I just connected it with a book. And later on, I mean, the last name itself, I always know like a secret. Like I hang out with my grandparents' house. In lanu mishpacha, but my savta and my saba and my dodot, my aunts, and now two uncles that went to America. So that's all my family that we have. So we spend a lot of time at their house. If my family go on vacation, we stay with them. If weekend, we go to them, everything to them. So you play around with their stuff, you know, like a little kid, you always sneak around. Besides old pictures of family or everything, there's nothing that shows that the family is Jewish. Yet the documents and everything else, and the document says Mizrahi in Arabic. Mizrahi. There's a big document in English, and there's Hebrew on it, and there's Arabic. And in Arabic writing, I remember specifically how Mizrahi was written. Yeah, like the rest was like straight, Mizrahi, and you know, so I was like,
והספר הזה הוא בעצם היה סידור, נכון?
The Siddur with my grandma, I used to think that דוד שלי, הוא היה הלך לאמריקה for a while, he never came back to Kuwait, so I used to think she would cry because הוא הלך לקנדה, I'm like, סבתא למה תבכי? You know, my uncle is in America, he doesn't come over, she doesn't talk, okay, whatever, get up. Very nice lady, she sits in the guest room and she closes the door, there's a door that slides. Sits inside, and she looks at a book, and I see her book, big block letters, Hebrew block letters. Book is this big. And just, this is what she does. So I don't know why she was crying. And to me, I just connected it with Rivka, her family, and I'm like, maybe Jews like to cry in the dark, I don't know.
עד היום אתה לא יודע למה היא בכתה?
לא. I don't know, maybe she missed her family, I don't know. There's many reasons. I could guess many things. Maybe she missed her family. One thing I would guess, one thing I used to think as a kid because I was stupid, I mean, in בערבית, קוראים של הכותל, חאת אל-מבקה, כותל של בוכים,
של בוכים.
So, בוכים, היא תבכה, I'm like, why, what's going on? Maybe Jewish people אם הם רוצים להתפללו, you know, what's the secret?
אז רגע, אז איך בעצם גילית את היהדות שלך? לפי הסידור, איך ידעת בכלל שהוא בעברית?
סידור עם השם שלה, the story of Rivka, that's it. Later on, now all of this I put in my mind, and I always thought she is Jewish. I don't talk to people about it. I just become interested in anything Jewish when I was a kid. In הלכנו לירדן, בגיל 14, I go onto TV, there was no satellite. אין satellite בזמן. You turn the TV on, בירדן you see ערוץ 2, וערוץ 1 here, and you see Simpson. So I'm like, wow, there's Simpsons, and I want to watch it. So I had to learn שם של שבוע, like יום ראשון, יום שני, יום שלישי. So, and בשעות, במה שעה, the TV play. So I learned all of that stuff. I became excited. I see רחוב סומסום, I say like, okay, ידיים, בערבית, same word. So I started learning. But I did not have I don't care at the time, back then, if my grandmother was Jewish or she was Buddhist. I did not care. Believe me, in my family, we don't care about religion. Until this day, today. I'm the only one that kind of went a little off the limit.
אבל אז מגיע יום שבו החיים שלך מקבלים איזושהי טלטלה. אתה עצמך חושב שאתה מוסלמי, כי אבא שלך מוסלמי וזה הולך לפי אבא. ופתאום בשיחה כביכול מקרית עם יהודי, חסיד חב"ד, אתה מגלה שזה הולך לפי האמא. איך זה היה?
It was a coincidence. Really, I was not supposed to meet this guy. I was not supposed to go downstairs, but what are you supposed to do? It just happened that I go downstairs to make a phone call. Long story, I don't want to get into the details of it. I see this gentleman. At the time in Canada, I used to be in a club. It's called Frat Club. Shal Chevra, Shal Achim, just frat. You help each other, you do things. And there was a guy, his name is David Goodman. And we talk a lot. Oh, Canadi, I was low dati. But something about him, because he's Jewish, I was like, wow, cool. I told him, hey, you know, my grandmother is Jewish. He did not tell me anything. Maybe, you know, because holodati. But we talk and everything, and I'm just opening up to the thing. If I grew up all my life knowing my grandmother is Jewish, then I go to Jordan and watch TV, then Rivka, Bebanim Shala, that lived right next to Binyan, next to us. My whole life from a young age had a little bit of Jewish in it. When I met this guy, I don't know why, maybe because I was stressed out writing exams, I went to him, hi, how are you? Are you Jewish? He's like, no, but I like to dress this way. Jewish people are funny. I know Jewish people are scary. Jewish people, they tell us in school, they just want to kill you. They live under the basement and they plan how to kill Arabim because that's all Jewish people do. So I'm like, okay, this is crazy. So my grandmother is different, Rivka is different, David Goodman is different, and this guy's funny. Let's see what goes from here. He said, sit down. If you would like to talk, sit down. I told him I grew up in Arabia. I know many friends that are Jewish. I don't know. I think there's potential of doing something. blah, blah, blah.
ואז הבחור הזה של חב"ד, השליח חב"ד דיבר איתך ו...
השם שלו, Dr. יצחק בלוק. He's a very special person. Many people מחב"ד יודעים מי Dr. יצחק בלוק. הוא למד עם הרבי, זצ"ל, והוא, he's a doctor, he has a professor of philosophy in Harvard University. Very nice guy, very easygoing, very humble. I live in Canada. You there, you have to work hard, you have to do this, you have to go to school. Everybody has, like to be, the best. And I see this guy, older man, with a very nice, way of talking to me. I have to listen. I told him my story and all that stuff. I did not tell him Safta Yehudiya, Safta Yehudiya. There's no point of telling Safta. I don't know if your Safta is Yehudiya makes you Yehudi, so I didn't say anything.
היה לך מושג שזה בעצם, יש לזה משמעות הלכתית.
I pretty much just wanted to talk. I sat down with him, he offered me an apple. I thought it's very nice. Who's this Jewish guy being so nice to me? And I told him I am Arab. Give me an apple, green apple. Sat down, started talking, this and that. And I told him, this is my family, this is where they came from. Our neighbor is Rivka. I learned stories, Tzipurim, when I was a Katan. And my grandma, because she was Jewish, like grandma Jewish. What do you mean? From which side? From mom, Emma's side. He let me talk. Then he says, well, you know, by Jewish law, no, by Muslim law, אתה Muslim. I'm like, wow, אני יודע. Thank you very much. He's like, but by Jewish law, you're Jewish. Your grandma is Jewish. Even if she converts to Islam, she will stay Jewish all her life. And your mother is Jewish, and through your mother, you are Jewish and all your brothers and sisters. I'm like, okay. This guy, maybe he's missionary, like, you know, those people that want to bring you to, I don't know what religion is at this point. I know people, everybody wants to make you like them. Muslimin, Nasrani, everybody wants to make you like them.
זאת אומרת, בהתחלה לא ממש האמנת לו.
At the beginning, no. But he talks, then he goes, okay, let me ask you a question. He's like, who is your number one enemy? Who's your number one enemy on this planet? I said, Satan? I don't know, who's number one? Shaitan, they told us in Arabic. He's like, no, it's you. Okay, this guy is right. I start thinking, he knows what he's talking about. I said, well, I don't know how we continue it. At that time, I could not think too much. I took his phone number and I told myself I'm going to go ask my mom and my grandma. I ran home and I spoke with my mom. My mom tells me, Zionist propaganda. They want to get you. Maybe he has another reason. And my grandma was a little bit awkward. Until this day. We talk and I don't get much.
אף פעם לא דיברת איתה ממש, למה היית סלמה? האם היא מצטערת על זה? האם היא רואה בעצמה איזה סוג של יהודייה? כי הרי גם היא יודעת שזה הולך לפי...
I don't know if my grandmother, she became Muslim the same second she got married, because Saba at that time was not religious, dati. Aval, they got married because they met each other. He met her here in Jerusalem, and they liked each other. She left with him, but I think she had no choice but to become Muslim. That's the...
מה זאת אומרת לא הייתה לה ברירה?
No choice, well, you would have to get married, you would have to be
כן, אבל איך הייתה יכולה לוותר עליו?
You can, I guess. So maybe they did not become Jewish at the time. I don't know about this detail, I really don't know, and I don't think I could get it. And even if I ask her, she's going to tell me yes. But later on in her life, she became Muslim, she became religious.
אוקיי, אז בעצם אתה מאותה תקופה נכנסת לסחרור כזה, התחלת להתעניין יותר ביהדות, הבנת יש עליך איזשהו עול מסוים, יכול להיות שאתה יהודי ואתה לא יודע את זה. ספר לי על תקופת הבירור עד לגיור.
Believe me, sir, Dodo, I grew up in a way, me and my family, we really appreciate not being religious. I'm going to repeat this. My family appreciates no religion, any religion. And we felt lucky growing up. I see my friends going to the Miskad in Abba Shalem, and they see that we don't go, and they say, okay, whatever. They come play in my house by Ramadan, they know that they could eat in my house, which we were the cool people. Now, for me to be interested in religion is really not the newest thing, but I always had some sort of a connection of something that is going on. I liked the Sipurim Shel Navim. I liked some things in life. I like good people out there. I don't mind who you are, you're a good person.
והאסלאם לא משך אותך? אתה מדבר על זה שאהבת סיפורים?
I always hated Islam, mainly, כי אבא פתח עיניי של בעיות מוסלמים, they do.
מה למשל?
What he say? My dad always say, look at this guy, like Muslims, oh, they pray all day long. You go to work with somebody, the court. You go to do something with this guy, oh, sorry, I need Palel Akhshab. I'm like, Palel Akhshab, just because I come. They use this and they pretend to be very religious, but if there is something bad, like cheating with money, no problem. They will fight with you and you will see another face. The women, they like women very much, which is, how could you be very godly and just like women very much? Yeah, and they like food very much. Yeah, that's what I understand.
זאת אומרת זה חיצוני בעצם.
Yeah, tell them, yeah.
אוקיי. ואז איך אתה ממשיך את המסע לגילוי היהדות?
I myself really, I heard from this gentleman, from Dr. Block, and I did not, לא התקשרתי אותו. I was busy, I was just finishing university. I wanted to work, I want to make some money, I want to breathe. I start working, I got a good job, Baruch Hashem, and I start going to the gym, and I do a lot of things that are active. My day is busy, I like busy. One time, you know what rollerblades are? You're skating, you go skating?
גם פה יש לנו את זה.
All my life, yeah, but not for Jerusalem.
רגע, לפני זה מה למדת עד אז?
What did I study?
כן.
industrial organizational psychology.
אוקיי. ואז עם הרולר בליידס?
Since I was a kid, I rollerblade. So one day, one evening, I'm rollerblading, I'm thinking about many things in life, where I'm going, this and that. Nothing more than ordinary, nothing extra special. I fell down, and I got up, and I started asking myself, like, I fell down, I really hurt my wrist, and I couldn't go to work because it was very bad. But I was sitting on the floor, and I was just seeing the floor is very smooth. And I asked myself, why did I fall? I felt like somebody up there was just pushing me. I know when I do things that are bad, and I know when I do things that are good, like everybody else, like you and like him and like her, everybody else. I start asking myself, what's going on? That guy, the stuff that he was telling me, he told me, who's your number one enemy? And he said, it's you. I am my number one enemy. I create trouble for myself in school, trouble with my family, trouble with everything. Maybe bad I did not good sometimes in work or in university because of me. If I do wrong, it's me that is doing wrong. I thought, my hand is broken. I was interested in this man, and I keep thinking about him. Already. Yalla, I'm off for Shabbat. Let's take a taxi and go to the Bet Knesset.
Taxi b'Shabbat?
I did not know anything.
Okay.
My first time going to Shabbat, Baruch Hashem.
Okay.
So I took a taxi. I stopped right in front. You could see me. There's big, like a very thin, narrow windows. People could see you. So, pay the guy. Boom. My hand is like this. I walk in, and I was mefached. I thought, because when I lived in Jordan and I used to watch Israeli TV, I look at the commercials, and everybody has blonde hair and light color eyes. They look.
זה חלק מאירופה.
Yeah, look מאירופה. Now they're gonna see me and no good. Not gonna work very good. So I walk in. Somebody opens the door. He looks Indian. I'm like, maybe he work here. אבל יש לו כיפה. He's giving me kippa. I was like, oh, shalom aleichem. Oh, Shabbat shalom. There you go. Like, okay. Shabbat shalom. So far, so good. I go inside. There's a old couple from Egypt. Music, they play music all around the world. They speak to me in Arabic. I am sitting in the middle of a shul in Canada, schwitzing, looking right and left and center, and these two people are speaking to me in Arabic. I'm like, Loto, just like, no, it's okay, we speak Arabic, that's a language. And these people are from Yemen, and these guys are from Poland, and this guy's from Ethiopia, and I'm like, wow. And I saw Dr. Black Sham also. Something worked out a little bit. Look, Dudu, if I tell you all your life that something is bad and wrong and cannot do it, just stum, without explanation. If you ask me questions and I don't answer you, you're not gonna believe me. I have to answer your questions in order for you to understand me. Now, I grew up all my life told by people that are not credible, like the teachers or somebody, or these kids that burn Israeli flags or masho in the news, that Jews are bad, Jews are evil, Jews.
ופתאום אתה רואה בדיוק ההפך, קבלת הפנים הזאת.
That people are bad. But I go to the shul and I think about everything else. I think about my grandma once again, Rivka, whoever came to my life that is Jewish, that seems like a normal person. Where is the bad Jews that people are talking about? So I am more sensitive towards this. And I could explain to you more later on through a trip of mine to Poland. Also, the same thing happened. All your life, I never heard of the Holocaust. When I went to Poland, I see things, I cannot help not crying and not connecting, and people like, come, let's go. I'm like, I cannot believe all of this is happening. Why? Because nobody told me. So when I look at people speaking nice to me, and people fighting to take me for lunch, I want to have him, no, I want, and everybody asking me questions, and they ask me, your dad is Jewish? I'm like, no, he's Arab Muslim. Okay, and bye, no problem. No problem. If I was a Jew sitting in Kuwait on your table at night, believe me, people will be upset. Somebody will get up and do something. So Jewish people are accepting, Jewish people are welcoming, and they made it easier for me. And nobody told me why you have a kippah, you take it off. No, it was like as if I belong to this community and I was a part of this community. I felt very warm. I felt like I was always there.
אבל מעבר לתובנות האלה, שבאמת פתאום ראית את היהודים אחרת מכפי שציירו לך אותם, היית יכול, אתה יודע, להמשיך לחיות את אותם חיים, להגיד, בסדר, יהודים הם נחמדים, אני אולי חצי יהודי או משהו כזה, לחיות חיים שהם לא ממש יהודיים, לא ממש עם תורה או מצוות. מתי ואיפה הבנת שאתה צריך לשבור את ההגה קצת יותר חזק?
Through this journey, For example, people, I hear the first week or the second week that you're not supposed to work on Shabbat. I'm like, well, you don't work on Shabbat? What do you do?
לא ידעת שום הלכה לפני זה? לא ידעת אפילו שיהודים לא עובדים בשבת?
I did not know. How do I know? I hear, like, for the first time, I understand people say Shabbat Shalom. Lama usually Omer Shabbat Shalom each other because it's a special day, you know. People explain to me, when a Jewish person explains something to me sometimes, especially the beginning, they're like, כמו מוסלמים, יש להם יום שישי, we have יום שישי בלילה ויום שביעי. That's our Shabbat. Shabbat nishbot. We know of it. Like, wow, how do you make money? Jewish people are rich. They say, maybe you work 24/7 or something. Later on, people explain slowly, they should not work. I don't know if you believe me or not, I go to my job. In Canada, it's not hard. I go to my job, it's like, hi, supervisor, I am not working with Shabbat. I am a religious Jew.
איך הם הגיבו? מה הם אמרו?
Absolutely. In Canada, Canada's a beautiful country. You could do that.
Okay.
I stopped working on Shabbat, but did I actually keep Shabbat? שמרתי Shabbat? לא. Because אני לא ידעתי לשמור Shabbat. חשבתי, לא תעבד, but, you know, שב בבית ומקופי you know, במחשיב, כסד, TV, לא תעבד. This is מה חשבתי.
אוקיי, ואז בהמשך, אוקיי.
Slowly, I start asking questions. The rabbi saw that I'm interested. The rabbi, הוא התחתן לבת של דוקטור יצחק בלג, rabbi של קהילת בית תפילה, בלונדון, אונטריו. He gave me a book, שם של ספר, To be a Jew, by Chaim Donin. Good book, very good book for anybody that wants to know. It's just information. We don't do this, do this. There was no Hilchos Shabbos in detail.
כמו שולחן ערוך כזה?
לא, שולחן ערוך maybe עכשיו, אבל back in the day, this is just a simple 1, 2, 3. You know, what do? We have to daven 3 times, we wash our hands before food. So it was nice. You wash your hands before food, and you say this, and you say that, and everything has a meaning. You know, Chabad likes to explain everything in a beautiful, philosophical way. Plus, it was Dr. Block. He gives it extra. So I am sitting there dreaming, just looking at him in a dream. Like, wow, Zayahudim, wow. You used to tell me bad things. And I just, my mind is thinking of before and thinking of now. The days have come, I become very interested. That was in 2005, 2004, mid-2004. 2005 in the summer, my plan was to go to Toronto to study a little bit more at university and just go to the big city. When I went there, this is where I connected with Chabad Lubavitch Yeshiva, and I studied there for part-time, just like Yom Shlishi, Yom Echad B'Shavua, Yom Shlishi, and I started learning here and there, Kitzat Shulchan Aruch, and just try to touch like a baby, like what is going on, you know.
היה קשה לך בהתחלה ללמוד את הדברים האלה? אולי דברים שנראו לך מוזרים? זאת אומרת, לשמור שבת אפשר להבין, אבל פתאום בורר, או ללמוד גמרא אפילו, שזה בכלל חלקה בארמית.
גמרא after, no. At that point right now, I was just English. I grabbed the Siddur for the first time. In that first day I went there, I read the Shamru. I was like, okay, this is very nice. I feel bad because everybody is praying in עברית ואני באנגלית.
אתה כבר למדת עברית באותה תקופה?
לא. קראתי the אלף בית בעברית, first time that week, that same week. Because I saw the Hebrew letters, I'm like, wow. Usually you see it in Israeli TV or something, like, wow, this is something far away. Now it's very close. I went to Wikipedia. I put Hebrew alphabet, and I got the detail. למדתי calligraphy, מהייתי קטן. So I see letters moving, you know, Arabic letters all the way. So I see how the Hebrew letters are close to Arabic letters. So I teach myself Hebrew.
לבד לגמרי.
לא למדתי עברית בבית ספר. So I put the letters בעברית, I compare, and I just make something.
הבנתי. ואז בעצם אתה טס לפולין, למחנות ההשמדה, אחרי זה גם לירושלים, לכותל המערבי. איך הרגשת שם?
זה יותר מאוחר, זה 3 שנים after ב-28. I quit my job. I start working for me. So I go, I got something to do in Paris, I do business, I come back, and I am free, I do work for myself. That's later on, 3 שנים after, 2008. There was a הפגנה ביוניברסיטה, York University. maybe שמעתם בזה פה. All this problem started by York University. Many people grabbed Palestinian flag, Israel, 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 Israel. At that time, I was very passionate. I was still going to the yeshiva part-time, but I don't know so much. But I know I am Jewish, and the Arabs lie to me. I decide one day, I take a big piece of, I used to do things on the internet, online, defend Israel, videos YouTube, I grab a big piece of cardboard and I write on it, free Palestinians from Hamas.
Oh.
I take it, I put it in the middle, I have no permission, nothing. Nobody knows Studenti, knows Studenti. I look a little younger. I went there, I wore a hat, start talking. Hi, don't listen to him, come to me, I need me in Gaza. Oh, אתה מגזה? You speak Arabic? You're not Arabic, do you? Are you? I'm like, yeah, בטח, I speak Arabic fluently.
אולי לך מבטא אחר מהמבטא של ערביי עזה?
קצת, כי הם, אוקיי, אני יודע, האקסנט פלסטינים, כי אמא גדלה קצת פה, וסבתא ידברו ערבי וקצת פלסטינים, ואנשים מגזה, יש להם פלסטיני חצי וחצי מצרי. So you say the ja. So I just did this a little bit.
Okay.
And move on. And half English, because I need to speak English, so everybody could listen, but when I talk to one person in Arabic, I talk to him, but I want everybody to listen. People come to me, more and more and more. I had almost everybody around me. Nobody was Arabic. There was Pakistanis, Bengalis, Afghanis, Canadians, I don't know from where, but no Arabic, maybe one or two. People come to me and, oh no, you're liar, Israel do this, Israel do this. I'm like, okay, 1 second. מאיפה את? Oh, you're from Bangladesh? נעים מאוד. יש הרבה בעיות בבנגלדש, למה לא, you have גנה לבנגלדש? Great, thank you very much. את. Oh, you're my neighbor, Afghani girl. שם שלך, חאלדה, למה you say you are Jewish earlier? Why do you lie? Okay, get out of here. I expose. I get this one guy who goes, no, אני ערבי, with this and that. I'm like, סליחה. You sound like you are from Damascus, maybe בסוריה. אתה סורי? He's like, yeah. like, מה שם שלך? He's like, Adonis. Adonis, אתה נוצרי also? Christian? He's like, yeah. Well, אחי, there's people that go to jail in Damascus and the family do not know anything about them. You don't hear anything about them. Why don't you have הפגנה for political prisoners' rights?
למה באמת נראה לך שכל המדינות פתאום מעניין אותם פלסטין, ישראל? מה הסיפור?
Look, yesterday I had some work to do around Israel. I traveled yesterday a little bit too much. So I'm on the telephone. I gave myself busy. I go on Twitter. Shimon Peres ונתניהו אומרים, if the Syrian refugees wants to come to Israel, welcome. We like to help people. All the Arim, oh, look what Israel is doing, look what Israel is doing. I'm like, what the? So I start writing. Isn't it better? I told them, Arabim, you don't do much. You don't do anything. You just say bad, but you don't do anything. And if Israel wants to do something, you just sit and you just point fingers and you make fun. We should help people. If people are dying, we should help them. Israel and Jewish people know this more because they've been killed and been tortured, have been pogroms all their lives. And what's going on right now is pogroms. I teach them the word pogrom. I'm like, when people go to a village and kill everybody, Jewish people know what this is. From here to there, I do these arguments. People learn. Some Arabs want to learn. On the internet, they ask you a lot of questions they want to know, and some people want to create problems. But when you speak to people calmly and quietly and explain the point of view, believe me, there's some sort of reaction. Because everybody questions, everybody asks. Nobody's happy with the religious Muslim doing all the stuff that they do in Arabic land. And people are always curious. They see Jewish people are successful, smart, they're good with technology, with doctors, professors. How could they be criminals? So.
אוקיי, בוא נתקדם טיפה קדימה. אתה מגיע לביקור ראשון בישראל, אחרי שאפילו ביקרת במחנות ההשמדה בפולין. בוא תספר לי על זה.
After the Afghana thing, I met some friends, Jewish friends at camp. I was not friends with them yet. They come to me, they said, who are you? Why do you talk like this? That's great. Like, are you Israeli? Because they see how my answer is. I'm not Israeli. I'm a nobody. I am Jewish, but I speak Arabic. Thank you, this is what I do. I took people's contacts. Later on, I got invited to a rabbi's house from Esha Torah. A very nice guy who became one of my very good friends and my rabbi. His name is Mark Salanka. He said, okay, we have a trip to Poland and Israel for 3 weeks. Would you like to go? I would like to go, but I have work, I have things, I don't know what to do. Israel, I love Jewish people and all that stuff, but I don't know if I'm ready for this. Then I decided I'm gonna go. I went to Poland, spent 1 week in Poland, 5 days. We toured everywhere, non-stop. We went everywhere, learned a lot of things, and I want you to know, throughout the 4 or 5 years that I was in Judaism, I had many good friends in New York and in Toronto that I go to their houses on Chagim and Shabbos, all that stuff. They were of Polish or of Ashkenaz origins. So I felt very close to the community, extra close to the community, because all I hear is the details about their lives, and this person grew up here, and this happened to him, and he was in concentration camp. So I connected. I'm going to Poland, my best friend's mother say, look for me for the city and light a candle for me. I'm like, oi, now I have to light a candle? I light a candle for you? Great. Go to Poland, I see what I see. It becomes, I feel like I went through the Holocaust. The experience was good in a way to see, but it was bad because it was bitter. Until the last minute, we came to leave the airport in Poland, and the employees were even bad to us, mean and bad. And we were dancing in the autobus, they stopped the autobus, all the people fall. The plane went up. I did not sleep 4 or 5 hours. We landed in Israel. I saw Israel. I felt like I was in the Holocaust, and I come to Israel from the Holocaust. It was very, very special.
אז הגעתם לכותל המערבי? כבר בהתחלה?
רגע, before the kotel, you go to the security. You have to see the security guys.
ופחדת באמת ש...
A little bit.
Okay.
So I go in and tell the rabbi, okay, don't leave me. Shamati, and the security, they'll hold you for 4 hours now. Please don't leave me. Okay, no problem. We land, I go to security. Okay, first time in Israel, yes. Welcome to Israel. Wow, that was amazing. So I just go in. We go to Jerusalem. We go to the kotel the second morning, yes. And we go to a place, Mali Khamisha. That was my first place, my favorite place, by the way. And from there, I went to the kotel and saw Jerusalem, and I was like pinching myself. Is this real? Is this real? And I learned Esha Torah Baruch Hashem a little bit for a while. But I toured all over Israel, and I saw that not just this guy, Jewish Canada, is trying to be nice, or this guy's trying to be nice. All Israelis are nice. And people are just curious, nice, they want to talk to you, they want to speak to you. They're just people like everybody else, but smart, civilized, nice. So I love this place. I learned here a little bit, at Bekhiav with a good friend of mine in Beit Midrash, Esha Torah, and I told myself I would love to come back again. Everybody told me, try to stay, בישיבה, try to stay.
ובכל התהליך הזה היית צריך להתגייר מתישהו, או שלקחו בחשבון את סבתא שלך ואמרו אתה פטור לגמרי?
That's definitely something that was of concern. People wanted to verify, and people went through the steps necessary to verify who I am. But I told myself, within a year, I would like to come back here. And I'm not sure how it happened. Baruch Hashem, within 1 year, I brought myself back. I wrote an article. I saw how people reacted to it. I started becoming religious a little bit. I told myself, Chaval, you live your life, you don't do nothing. I wish I learned about this a while back. There's a Mishnah that I learned that a Russia, even if he's alive, he's dead. Mm-hmm. If you're alive and you don't do good things, it's like you are dead.
כן, ולהפך. הצדיקים בחיים, במותם קרויים חיים.
Yes. And I felt like it was my life like this, and I started feeling bad about my family. But what do I tell my family? They don't like religion. So I started talking to my brother and telling him a little bit about the Pirkei Avot. Pirkei Avot is nice and very, very nice chokhmah and smooth. I talk to my brothers, love it. I don't tell them it's Judaism.
נראה לך שמישהו מהם יתגייר מתישהו?
My family?
כן.
No. My family has nothing to do with religion. I have one brother who would like to come here, that's all.
זה כואב לך, או שאתה אומר, אתה משלים עם זה, אתה אומר, בסדר?
כואב לי, כן, כי אני רוצה, המשפחה שלי בשולחן, תשבו בשולחן שלי בשבס one day in the future. Yeah. Bye. Everybody here is my משפחה, so it's good, maybe, yeah. You, everybody I've met in Israel, I feel like they're connected to me. I look at people sometimes like, we have the same blood, we have the same thought, we have the same history. It's a beautiful thing. I'm very glad my life had brought me to this. The journey was not easy, but it was not difficult. It was not very difficult at all. I could have lost my family. I could have had trouble. I had a little bit of trouble, but nothing massive. Baruch Hashem, somebody up there is watching.
ושאלה הפוכה לגבי המשפחה, מישהו מהמשפחה ניסה להחזיר אותך אליהם? זאת אומרת, להגיד, עזוב אותך יהדות, אתה מוסלמי, בוא תגור פה.
לא אתה מוסלמי, אבל אם אתה אומר, you know, you could work בדובאי, make much more money, they sound like, Mom, I'm working here, I'm very happy, you know, like maybe I wear black and white, you know, it's just, I'm happy and content with what I have and very happy with the work that I do. I don't need to go to Dubai or to some other country.
אפרופו שמחה וחיבור פה ליהדות, למה אתה הכי מתחבר ביהדות? זאת אומרת, מה אתה הכי אוהב בלימוד התורה או בחיים היהודים היום? למה אתה הכי מתחבר ביהדות היום? מה אתה הכי אוהב ללמוד למשל? מה הכי מושך אותך היום?
I learned Gemara and I learned Mishnah Berurah. Last year, when Egypt stopped sending lulavim to Israel, I thought to myself, I want to bring lulavim. If there's no lulavim, people are not going to do, you know, mitzvah, maybe the price will go up. I want to help. I know I could speak Arabic, many accents. I know I'm pretty good at what I do. Baruch Hashem, God gave me this ability. So I stopped making phone calls. Within one day, I just find somebody, I go and meet him, go to Yarden, and I meet the gentleman, and I thought to myself, okay, I could do this. That's it. I thought to myself, I'm just going to help people and move on. Later on, something else came up, but...
יפה, אז נכנסת גם לתחום העסקים בין ישראל לעולם הערבי.
Yeah. While I was doing work with Jordan, for example, I started learning Mishnah Berurah because I wanted to know how do you bring somebody that as a goy to do work for you. Maybe he does work on Shabbos, Lotov. He's like, no. You could learn the Mishnah Berurah. He can do work. There's 2 ways, 3 ways he could work. Like, okay, I want to learn. So I start a little bit, and I move on faster. And next thing you know, and I'm comfortable with an Arab working for me on Shabbos.
יפה, אז עם המשנה ברורה הזאת אנחנו מבינים את המשנה שלך. אני באמת מאחל לך שתצליח כאן בישראל, בחיים היהודיים. ואולי באמת מתישהו גם יהיה שולחן שבת, כי בסך הכל גם המשפחה.
בעזרת השם, אמן. ואולי עלייה בקרוב also. I want to do עלייה also and stay here. This is my home.
בעזרת השם. טוב, אז מרדכי, אני מאוד רוצה להודות לך. ורוצה להודות גם לכם שהייתם איתנו עם עוד סיפור אישי מרתק בתוכנית בכיוון אחר. תודה ונתראה כאן בתוכנית הבאה.